Very good morning, children. So, today we are going to start our revision for the topics which we have discussed so far. So, and this is going to be the syllabus for tomorrow's assessment. So, that is chapter 1, rational numbers, and chapter 2, linear equations in one variable. We dealt up to exercise 2.3, and till then, okay, we will discuss later. So, exercise 2.3 of chapter 2 is the syllabus from chapter 2, and lastly exponents and powers. And coming to the aptitude, as I have already given, it is going to be from page number 1 to 5. So as I am going to start my session starting with rational numbers, I appreciate if you could check the videos again and again so that you will get complete picture about what exactly the concepts that are to be covered in these chapters. And being the test of self-assessment, try not to keep more stress on you, so that starting from each exercise, each problem, don't deal like that. Just check concept at a time. In each concept, one question. If you are quite confident with that, go to the next session or the next concept. So prepare yourself conceptual wise and don't worry too much about the marks and all. So as I am going to start the session starting with rational numbers, please try to keep your focus from each point which I am going to deal now. So to start with, let us see what exactly the definition of rational number is. So as you already learned this, just for the revision purpose, what the rational number exactly mean. As you know, when any number written in the form p by q, okay, written in the form p by q, the two conditions which these numbers or this number should satisfy is, the first one is p and q must be integers. This is very important. P and q must be integers. First one. And the second one is the denominator q not equal to 0. Okay. So first condition that should satisfy is p and q must be integers and denominator q should not be equal to 0. So to understand this, I want to give you an example. Just please follow this discussion very carefully. So we have to take a number of the form p by q where p and q be integers and q not equal to 0. For example, I am taking 6 by 7. Okay. So I am taking 6 by 7. So let us check whether this is 6 by 7 is satisfying these two properties or not. So first, p and q. What's the value of p here? 6. And the value of q is 7. It's very clear that both 6 and 7 are integers. Okay. Because plus 6 plus 7 are integers. And q, 7 is not equal to 0. Hence we can say that 6 by 7 is a rational number. Now, can I call 6 by 7 as a fraction? Yes. Okay. Then what exactly the difference between the fraction and rational number is? Now look. I am taking another example, 9 by minus 5. 9 by minus 5. So, first you tell me whether this is a rational number or not. Let us check these properties. So, p and q must be integers. 9 comma minus 5 are integers because plus 9 minus 5 are integers. So, it's satisfying the first condition. Next, minus 5 is clearly not equal to 0. Hence, we can say 9 by minus 5 as a rational number. Then, can I call 9 by minus 5 as a fraction? No, because observe the difference between here and here. 6 and 7 are integers and even we call them whole numbers. 9 by minus 5. 9 is a whole number and integer as well, but minus 5 is not a whole number. Minus 5 here is only integer. Hence, 9 by minus 5 can be called as only rational number but not as a fraction. Through this, what you have to understand is all fractions are rational numbers. Okay, all fractions are rational numbers, but all the rational numbers are not fractions. Please be clear about this. That is the exact difference. If we want to write fraction definition using this, here instead of integers, what you will write, you have to take whole numbers. That is the difference. Hope you are clear with the difference between a rational number and fraction. If P and Q are going to be whole numbers, then we will call that as a fraction. And anyway, this will be common for both because anything divided by 0 does not exist. Hope you are clear with this. That's the definition. That means when any number written in the form P by Q, where P and Q are integers and Q not equal to 0, it will be called a rational number. Now we are going to discuss the important properties of rational numbers which will help us to solve the problems pointing to our exercise. So in the important properties, the first property which we are going to discuss is commutativity or commutative property. Okay, we can write it as commutativity. That means this property which satisfies commutative property we call commutativity, or we can write it as commutative property also. Both are correct. Now look, these are very simple. Commutative property under addition is important because addition and multiplication are the two things which satisfy this property for rational numbers. What exactly this commutative property under addition says is, when you take two rational numbers a and b, then the value of a plus b will always be equal to b plus a. Hope you are clear. When you take any two rational numbers, namely a and b, the values of a plus b will always be equal to b plus a. Let us check with an example. Look, I am taking minus 2 by 4 plus 5 by 4. That means the value of a is going to be minus 2 by 4 and the value of b is going to be 5 by 4 is equal to, what is b now? 5 by 4 plus, what is the value of a? Minus 2 by 4. Please be careful. Here is the area where most of the people will make the mistake. Plus a doesn't mean that you have to take 2 by 4 because we took a as minus 2 by 4. Hence, minus 2 should be there. So, by resolving this, what you will get? Minus 2 by 4 plus 5 by 4 is equal to 5 by 4 plus into minus 2 by 4. Here both the denominators are same. So we have a chance of directly applying the binary operation minus 2 plus 5. Here also the common denominator 4, 5 minus 2. 5 minus 2. Now look, minus 2 plus 5. Minus 2 plus 5, it is 3 is equal to 5 minus 2. Again it is 3 by 4. Through this we can say that a plus b is equal to b plus a is applicable for rational numbers. What is the use of this commutative properties or the properties is that sometimes during the calculation of any problem, we may need to interchange a plus b as b plus a. Okay. So for that reason, these properties are saying that if you write a plus b as b plus a, there will not be any problem for the solution. Hope you are clear. I will explain this, how this is going to help by solving one of the examples in the exercise. Now, let us check commutative property under multiplication also. So, commutative property under multiplication. Commutative property under multiplication. See, addition a plus b is equal to. Similarly, multiplication a into b is equal to b into a. Okay, a into b is equal to b into a. Let us check with the same example. So I am taking a as minus 2 by 4 into b as 5 by 4 is equal to b value is 5 by 4 into a value is minus 2 by 4. Please be careful, minus 2 by 4. So as the denominators are same, we can go with the multiplication. Even different denominators are also in multiplication, we don't carry any problem. Minus 2 into 5, minus 10 by 4. 5 into minus 2, minus 10 by 4 fours, 4 4 16. Here also 4 4 is 16. So as we have a chance of cancellation here in 2 table, 2 5s are 2 8s are. Here also 2 5s are 2 8s are. The answer is going to be minus 5 by 8 is equal to minus 5 by 8. So through this we can say that commutative property under multiplication is applicable for any two rational numbers. Hope you are clear. So simply what you have to remember when they say commutative property means if it is addition a plus b will be equal to b plus a. Multiplication a into b will be equal to b into a. That's all. So I'm moving to the next property. So the next property which we are going to discuss is associative property. Associativity or associative property. Okay, just like the commutative property, this one is also is applicable for both addition and multiplication. For addition we'll see. Okay, for addition, look, if you take three rational numbers like a plus b plus c will always be equal to a plus b plus c. Okay, look. So here we are taking three rational numbers, namely a, b, c. This bracket indicates, as you know, according to BODMAS, we'll do first extract brackets, then only we'll add or apply the next binary operation to the leftover term. Here also, this bracket indicates that first you have to add b plus c, then the answer you have to add to a. Here also a plus b is in bracket. First you have to find a plus b and that sum you have to add to c. Let us check with an example. Okay, I am taking a as 1 by 2 plus b as 2 by 2 plus c as, for example, 4 by 2. Okay, then here what will come? 1 by 2 plus b value is 2 by 2 plus c value is 4 by 2. Now look, as we have discussed, first we have to work on the brackets. So we should not touch this 1 by 2. So 1 by 2, as we have a common denominator, that will come 2 plus 4. It is 6 by 2. Here also, as we have a common denominator, that will come as it is 1 plus 2, 3 plus 4 by 2. Okay, now look. So we can remove those brackets. 1 by 2 plus 6 by 2 is equal to 3 by 2 plus 4 by 2. As we have a common denominator, that will come as it is 1 plus 6, 7, 3 plus 4, again 7. If you observe, here also 7 by 2 and here also 7 by 2. So through this, A plus B plus C will always be equal to A plus B plus C. If you observe how I am pronouncing, A plus B plus C is equal to A plus B plus C. So we have to take a small pause when we are saying the things about the bracket. Hope you are clear. So this is associativity under addition. Now let us check associativity under multiplication. So to check the associativity for multiplication, as you know, to go with, let us check A into B into C is equal to A into B into C. Okay, let us go with the same examples. So multiplication. Okay, look. So A I am taking as 1 by 2 and B I am taking as 2 by 2 and C as 4 by 2 is equal to 1 by 2 into 2 by 2 into 4 by 2. Okay. As we have a clear cut cancellations everywhere, let us move ahead so that it will be easy. So 2 and 2 will get cancelled. 2 ones are 2 twos are. Okay. Here also 2 2 will get cancelled. 2 ones are 2 twos are. The left out terms are 1 by 2 into 2 by 1. Here also 1 by 2 into 2 by 1. Again 2 and 2 will get cancelled. So the left over is 1 is equal to 1. So here also LHS is equal to RHS. Through this what we can say, A into B into C will always be equal to A into B into C. So this is the associativity. And the final one is distributive property. Let us check with that. So the next one is distributive property or simply distributivity. Okay, look. So in this you have to remember mainly two concepts. That is, if you take three rational numbers A into B plus C, it will always be equal to, look, so A into the first one. So A into B, AB. This binary operation comes as it is. Next, A into C. After plus A into C. That means AC. So through this what we have to understand is, for any three rational numbers A, B, C, A into B plus C will always be equal to AB plus AC. Okay. This is distributivity under addition. Just like the addition we can take subtraction also, A into B minus C. So A into B, first term, that is AB. This binary operation comes as it is, minus. Next, A into C, AC. Therefore, A into B minus C is equal to AB minus AC. So this one and this one are the two properties which should come under distributivity. Hope you are clear. Using this, we are going to solve problems in the exercise so that you can get clear idea on how to and where to use these properties.